prevent his fiancée from interacting with men. The man locked her in a box every day. This life had continued for some time. And poor Anna dared not speak up. A few days ago, she came to the city with her parents. Her mother and aunt had secretly arranged her marriage. Anna would marry a cousin she had never met in a month's time. Upon their first meeting, Paul took her to see the bridal chamber. Every detail reflected Anna's tastes, yet she never imagined that after moving in, everything would change. Paul became suddenly volatile and intensely possessive. Anna endured relentless abuse here, though Paul saw it as profound devotion. Thus the marital home, meant for bliss, became Anna's torturous hell. Late one night, she begged her mother to annul the engagement. Her mother didn't even ask why. Even Anna's desperate pleas left her mother unmoved. Before leaving, she coldly remarked, "Hurry back to your new home. Paul won't be pleased if he waits too long." Anna's nightmare persisted. She knew she could rely only on herself. The next day, Paul's close friend, a renowned tailor, visited. With the wedding approaching, the wedding dress needed sizing. Carl had sent an assistant half an hour earlier, but Paul insisted on Carl taking the measurements himself. Carl had always been accommodating toward this childhood friend, never complaining even when extremely busy. The measurements were soon finished. The lady asked him to measure the wedding dress as well. Paul immediately refused. He hadn't even seen Anna in her wedding dress yet. Carl joked, "Someone doesn't want him to see the bride before the wedding." Paul retorted, "It's just a coincidence I haven't seen you." Meanwhile, Anna was locked inside a trunk. Carl remarked that if the dress didn't fit, as the groom, he'd have to carry it by hand. Suddenly, Paul had an idea. Since Carl was a renowned tailor, measuring blindfolded shouldn't be too difficult. His mother, standing nearby, nodded in agreement. Thinking Paul was joking, Carl instructed his assistant to take the dress away, but the lady agreed to this arrangement. Their family had a custom. No man could see the bride in her gown before the wedding. Seeing the lady insist, Carl couldn't refuse. Paul grinned maliciously, relishing the situation. He then pulled Anna out of the box to calm her nerves. Paul even washed her face. He then told Anna what to do next. But what happens between husband and wife must remain private. Soon, Anna emerged wearing the veil. By then, Carl had already donned his mask, since he had personally designed and tailored the gown. He was eager to know Anna's reaction. Anna silently closed her eyes and began to cry. Seeing this, the lady answered for her. Then, supported by his assistant, Carl approached Anna to take measurements. As a gifted tailor, his hands were exceptionally sensitive. He quickly took her waist measurement. The lady left the room to answer a call. Sensing Anna's nervousness, Carl had his assistant pour her a glass of water. Next came the final measurement, her shoulders. He knew the size with just a touch of 2 fingers. All measurements were complete. Carl intended for her to change out of the gown, so he could take it back to the shop for alterations. Before he could finish, Anna headed toward the bedroom. Just then, the assistant's phone rang. She mentioned words like middle-aged, mental illness, and confidentiality agreement during the call. Upon hearing this, Carl urgently told the assistant to lower her voice. He was afraid others might overhear. Little did he know Anna hadn't left. She had been hiding behind the door, overhearing everything. The next day, when Carl left the house, the servant informed him that the female caregiver sent by the agency had arrived. When Carl entered, a young woman came into view. It was Anna. She had come here under a false identity. Since Carl had never met Anna before, he had no idea. Next, Anna was asked to sign a confidentiality agreement. But this didn't mean she was hired. She signed using her fabricated identity. The butler took Anna's phone and gave her a Nokia in return. Anna was led to a soundproofed room. Clearly, the middle-aged man chained to the bed was the patient she was to care for. The man seemed to have a peculiar reaction to Anna. He moved toward her uncontrollably, inch by inch. Strangely, he was exceptionally friendly toward her. All traces of his earlier aggression vanished. His speech revealed his limited mental capacity. He even invited Anna to join him in playing. Witnessing this, Carl said Anna could stay, but he didn't mention that this man was his father.